So, a very good afternoon to all the participants and attendees of IHMTC 2021. So now the sessions have all come to a close, and we are ready to say goodbye virtually. And now I request the conference chairman, Professor Sundararajan, to say a few words. Then that will be followed by the awards announcement by Professor Balaji. And then we will bid adieu to all the participants. Professor Sundararajan.
It has been, I should say, that very intense and very exciting period for the last 4 days, 17, 18, 19, 20. And large number of plenary lectures and keynote lectures and concluded papers and posters. It has really been mind-boggling, the number of papers that have been presented and posters that have been presented, very large number. But despite all of that, the quality has been very good. In fact, I must say that I was a little disappointed I couldn't attend 2 or 3 lectures at the same time, because all were very good. And contributed papers also were very good. And I must say that thanks to the cooperation that we had from IHMT and ASTP and also outside. So all the organizations have helped us right from beginning in the organization. And also, of course, my role has been mainly kind of the organizing secretaries have put in enormous effort. Professor Arvind Patamata and Professor Ashish Kumar Sen, and also the team which has helped them. So due to that, we have seen that it has been a very successfully organized conference. And of course, even the timing was really, it was like clockwork kind of work, that every paper finished in time, including question and answers and so on. So it has really been a mind-boggling task. I must here record the meticulous organization done by the secretaries and the organizing team, and also the advisory bodies which have helped us right from beginning. So kudos to the organizing team. And anyway, we are waiting for the last thing, that the awards. So for the papers and the posters and so on, I request Professor Balaji to make the announcements. Thank you.
Conference. So, for different reasons, I could not listen to all the papers because we were also busy trying to look at the best papers and so on. So, as you know, more than 300 plus papers and about nearly 200. How many posters were there?
187. Yeah.
187. So nearly 500 papers plus posters were there. So committee was constituted for the purpose of identifying the best papers. Okay, so I happen to be the chair of that committee. So we worked on, so what we did was we first prepared a long list, and then based on the long list, we asked the members to look at the papers for their novelty, their contribution, their completeness. For example, it's an experimental paper, whether uncertainty analysis is there, whether they're able to explain the discrepancies between prior art and their work, and if suddenly there's some graph is going up or going down, are there critical explanations inside the paper? Apart from that, we also looked at critically at the reviewers' rating and the reviewers' comments of these papers. Okay, and then we actually saw how these papers are actually written, whether they're written properly, presented properly, nice figures, tables, and whether references were written properly, all the references were cited, and so on. Then there are also accompanying videos of these papers. Once we went through the short list, as you know, it's not possible to go through the videos of all the 500 papers. So based on this short list, we looked at the videos, and then we also got a critical feedback from the session chairs. As said, when the sessions were going on, so the organizing committee is organized in such a way that we are able to get dynamically the scores from the session chair, any feedback from the session chair. So based on this, we have worked out a composite score and this thing, and then we were able to, then we met, and then it was a difficult task because there are only 3 best papers, and out of that one is Subhashi Mishra Best Paper Award is for a numerical paper, and which is being introduced for the first time. So if your name doesn't appear in this list, don't feel disappointed. In my opinion, the difference between an award-winning paper and any other paper which has been presented in the conference more than the quality, I would say it is only the time. Okay. So basically, what do I mean by time? So if you get a little more time, so you will do a more complete work. You do your grid independence, you will do your mesh refining, your wall bypass in case of a turbulent flow. You try to articulate why, for example, an RNG epsilon model works for this, why a Spalart-Almora model is not working for this and all that. So you'll be able to articulate reasons. So you'll be able to dive deep into this and then work out all the numerics and clean up all the numerics and present it properly. In the case of a experimental work, you'll be able to do uncertainty analysis. You'll be able to report it of both the primary measured variables as well as the derived variables. Look at what is called method of propagation of error and report it properly. And then parametric studies, whether you're using techniques like Latin hypercube sampling, design of experiments, full factorial design and all that. So basically, if you have not won the award, it doesn't matter. So all the papers were good, but out of this, you have to choose something where all these tick marks are already there. It is also nicely presented, and in terms of the writing, and it is also nicely presented in terms of the audio-visual, this thing, the videos were there, and they were also able to answer questions and so on. So basically, everything is a question of time. Okay, so I would rather go to the difference between a PhD scholar and a full professor is basically time. So if you do very well after 20, 25 years, you will also get there. So don't worry about it. So I would say the difference between award-winning paper and the other papers is only time. And all of you, many of you are just research scholars or budding researchers. So time is on your side. Okay. So when time is there and if you have the inclination and the motivation, so you can achieve. Okay. So with on that note, I'll now try to I'll now announce the award winners. So basically, as you know, there are three best paper awards. One is the Professor V.M.K. Shastri Best Paper Award, which was the first which was constituted. Then in the year 2008, the Professor P.K. Sharma Best Paper Award was constituted or endowed. And very recently, we endowed or instituted Professor Subhash Mishra Best Paper Award. Okay, so it doesn't mean that there's any gradation among the three prize winners, all are the same, except that Professor Subhash Mishra Best Paper Award is specifically for a numerical paper. Okay, because much of the work Professor Subhash Mishra was numerics and particularly in computational radiation, for which is very well known. Okay, now let's break the suspense. So the Professor V.M.K. Shastri Best Paper Award goes to the paper title On the Tracking of Freeze Front During Cryosurgery, Simulations and Experiments with Tissue Mimicking Medium. Authors are Anish Gunjal, Gulshan Kumar, Atul Srivastava, and Milind Atre, Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Bombay, Mumbai, India. So congratulations to the winners. It's an absolutely very good paper, which was a competition of experiments and simulations. And whatever I told you, everything was there, grid independence validation and all that, and uncertainty analysis, explanations, and then also the very important problem of so cryosurgery, which is particularly critical in oncology, right? In oncosurgery. The Professor P.K. Sharma Best Paper. So this is the paper number 714. I repeat, paper number 714. Authors are Anish Gunjal, Gulshan Kumar, Atul Srivastava, and Milind Atre. Congratulations again. So the Professor P.K. Sharma Best Paper Award goes to paper number 124. Thermal and hydraulic performance evaluation of fluid pumped space radiators with series and parallel flow paths. I come again. Thermal and hydraulic performance evaluation of fluid pumped space radiators with series and parallel flow paths. This is from the VSSC ISRO. So Anik Pillai, Hazarika, Rishabh Goyal, Ashpati Gupta, Bharat, and Srinivas. This is also very, very practical, very well done work. Okay, where they looked at various kinds of space radiators with series and parallel flow paths. You're able to show which one of this is better. Okay, when it's radiating to outer space, so it's very critical. So the space radiator, because there is no convection in outer space, all the heat just to be transferred from the electronics or whatever, or if you're using a fluid, which is part of the cooling medium, the fluid has to be cooled only by radiation. And this radiation is outer space. It should not face the sun. When it is not facing the sun, you'll have to look at a high emissivity coating and all that. And then, so the radiator design is very critical. Okay, so congratulations to these authors from our very own ISRO. All right, so this is the P.K. Sharma Best Paper Award, paper number 124. Now, the Professor Subhash Sri Mishra Best Paper Award has been recently endowed or instituted. So there are a lot of contenders for this. So it took a lot of time for us to converge, and we went over the papers again and again. This morning also we had a meeting, because this meeting could not be held earlier because some session was going on today too. And so we got the feedback even today about some of these papers. And so we wanted some concordance between what the committee feels. So there has to be absolute concordance between what the committee feels, what the reviewers have felt, and what the session chairs have felt at different points in time, looking at different parameters of the same paper. That is why, hopefully, this converged solution should, as a whole, should be acceptable to all. That's my hope. Okay, on behalf of the committee. Let's go to this. Professor Subhash Mishra Best Paper Award goes to paper number 31. Aerothermodynamic analysis of drag by using spike and counterflow jet techniques in reacting hypersonic flows. It's basically a lot of detailed numerical work on reacting hypersonic flows from Dharmesh, Inzamam, Shailendra Kumar, and Vinayak Kulkarni, Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Guwahati. Actually, after we decided the award, it turns out that the award winners for this paper are actually from IIT Guwahati itself. So this actually revalidates or corroborates. So I think it promotes a lot of positive vibes. Okay, so that's it from my side. Thank you again. Season's greetings and Happy New Year. I'll hand over the podium again to Professor Arvind Pattamata, Organizing Secretary. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Professor Balaji, for chairing the awards committee and announcing all the paper awards. So I congratulate all the winners of the paper awards, and we will try to send the certificates of all these paper awards by courier. So I request the authors of these paper awards to please contact us by email and let us know the address to which the certificates have to be shipped across. So thank you so much. And finally, I would like to make an announcement that all the sessions which have been recorded over the past 3.5 days, and we will be editing these videos, and we'll be sharing the links for all these sessions across to all the participants. So many participants have been sending emails that they would like to revisit and some of the lectures that they have missed. So for the convenience of these people, then we will share all the links for the simultaneous parallel sessions for all the 3.5 days. So you can go through all the lectures that you have missed and go through them at your own leisure. So we will do this in about 10 to 15 days because the event management company need a few days to edit and post-process all the recorded lectures, and then they will share us the links. So with that, I will come to the concluding remarks. I will propose a very quick vote of thanks, and then we will conclude this virtual conference. So once again, I would like to thank the Indian Society for the Heat and Mass Transfer and the American Society for Thermal and Fluid Engineers for having helped us in organizing this particular conference. And I would like to put on record and thank the Indian Institute of Technology Madras, the administrative team, and of course the organizing chairman, Professor Sundarajan, for helping us with the conference and giving us all the resources required to organize this particular conference of this scale, and that too completely virtually for the first time in the history of this conference. Of course, special thanks to Alpcod Event Management Company, because they have done a wonderful job, I should say, in organizing the 3.5 days. They have put up a very nice virtual platform, which was very interactive and very user-friendly to anyone who uses it for the first time, and the live streaming of all the sessions parallelly, and seamless transition from one presentation to the other, including the live performances that we had yesterday, was really wonderful, high quality. And there were no interruptions, no network problems. Absolutely, I should really commend the services given by Alpcod in making sure that we had a really high quality conference, as good as any other conference in the world. And I would like to thank all the authors, of course, for contributing to this conference. We received about 700 submissions initially, in fact. And finally, we shortlisted and we received a total of 500 high quality manuscripts. And then because we had no choice, because we had too many papers to accommodate in the oral sessions, and you saw how crowded they were, running over 5 parallel sessions for 3.5 days. We had to, for the sake of running the show, we had to split them into papers and posters. And I'm sure that all of you now have access to these videos and presentations. You can go over each and every presentation at your own leisure, and you can see the kind of work that was done, and all the work, including the posters, were of very high quality, I must say. And special thanks to all the 22 track chairs. I should admit that without their help in making sure that they did a quality review process for each and every paper was reviewed thoroughly, and so it went through a very stringent review process. Without their help, we wouldn't have been able to meet up the timelines and prod the authors to return their presentations on time. So I really use this opportunity to thank all the track chairs and all the session chairs. There were 43 session chairs overall, and all of them, joined on time. They conducted the sessions very well, and they provided us with the evaluation as well. So without their help and assistance, the conference wouldn't have been this smooth. And finally, it is the people who have been running behind the scenes. They are all the student volunteers. Student volunteers, there are 15 of them. I can't name all of them, but then we have their names in the program schedule, which is available for download from the main lobby of the virtual portal. So you can find all of their names, and they have done an excellent job, I should say, in making sure a very professional conduct of the sessions. And in fact, many of the session chairs themselves have appreciated the professional way the volunteers were conducting the sessions and maintaining the session discipline and all that. So it was really kudos to these 15 session chairs who toiled continuously for 3.5 days from morning to evening, and they did a wonderful job. So with that, this is my vote of thanks. I think I must have missed a few people, and of course we had a very wonderful musical performance last evening by Mr. Anil Srinivasan. So thanks to him for also agreeing, and also thanks to all the invited speakers who agreed to our invitation and could join virtually. And we had a wonderful set of speakers, totally 25 plenary plus keynote speakers and 2 sponsored speakers all joined us, and they gave us wonderful presentations. I'm sure many of the young budding researchers would take away a lot of important points from their presentations. So with that, I thank all the participants once again, and all the attendees. And one more announcement. So the certificates are available for download from the virtual portal. There is a tab called e-certificate. You can go and just click on the button, and if you are logged in through your correct registered email ID, you should get the certificate under your name directly. So that is also made very easy by Alpcard. So you should please check that out and download your certificates. So with that, we will say goodbye to all of you virtually, and I would like Tejasvi to show the slide which is going to welcome you to the next conference, IHMTC 2023, which is going to be held at IIT Patna. So this is a slide that was provided by Professor Rishi Raj, who will be the organizing secretary for the next IHMTC conference to be held at Patna, IIT Patna, and he shared the slide. He couldn't join us here today because of some network issues, but he extends a very hearty invitation and a warm welcome to all the attendees and participants for the next conference in 2023 December to be held at IIT Patna. So with that, I would like to say a goodbye to all of you and then sign off from this valedictory session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All the best.
All the best.
Thank you. Bye.